Good morning, all of you. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about our wave motion. So in that wave motion, first some basic definitions will be there. Let us learn those definitions first. So first of all, what is meant by a wave? In our daily life, we face that we come across different types of waves are there. So then like sound waves, light waves, and then this X-rays, gamma rays, UV rays, IR rays, like different types of waves and ripples on the surface of water. So like different types of waves are there in our daily life. And so now the wave means it is nothing but simply a disturbance. If you are creating any disturbance in a medium, then it is nothing but we call it as a wave, right? So if you are producing some sound in that medium or sound in a room, means that it is nothing but you are creating some disturbance in that medium. And so that disturbance is nothing but we call that as a wave here, right? So a disturbance created in a medium and which propagates from one place to another place. That means which travels from one place to another place is called a wave. And the main important characteristics of that wave is that wave, while it is propagating from one place to another place, it carries some energy or it's some momentum. That means it transports some energy or momentum there, but it doesn't transport the medium. So the particles of the medium or doesn't move from one place to another place. Only they may execute oscillatory motion there about their mean position, but they doesn't leave their original positions there, right? So that is another important property of this wave. So just write the definition. A disturbance created in a medium is called a wave. Disturbance created in a medium is called a wave. A wave transports energy or momentum from one place to another place. A wave transports energy or momentum from one place to another place. But it does not transport the particles of the medium. Next, there only sometimes we use like a pulse. The word pulse. Pulse is nothing but again it is a disturbance created for a short interval of time, that we call it as a pulse. Wave means it is continuously disturbance. If you are taking like one end of the string, the other end of the string is suppose fixed to this wall and other the free end is in your hand. Just if you produce a small jerk in that, then it is nothing but we call it as a pulse. And whereas if you are vibrating that string continuously, then it is said to be a wave. So that means this one end of the string is fixed here. Now the other end is there in our hand. So suppose if you are vibrating it continuously, then you will get such a continuous wave you will get. And whereas if you are just vibrating in that leave it, then only one pulse will be created. Just we move the string up and then we again remains in our comes to our initial position. Then only one pulse will be created. Then that pulse will travels along this direction here. So pulse is nothing but a short. That means disturbance created for a small interval of time. So just mention that a disturbance created for small interval of time is called pulse. A disturbance created for a small interval of time is called pulse. So generally when pulse is traveling along this direction, the shape of the pulse doesn't change here. It may be either any function like a square pulse or a triangular pulse or a sinusoidal function. So that shape of the pulse doesn't change here. Now only this pulse will travel along this direction, right? So it is a pulse and wave definitions here. And in order to propagate the waves from one place to another place, the medium should have some properties like which we called elasticity and inertia. Those are the two important properties of this medium for this propagation of these waves. Just mention that the propagation of the to propagate the waves, the medium should possess two important properties elasticity and inertia. Like suppose here if you are vibrating from this natural position, let us say if the string is vibrating here, Now if the particle of the string is here, then again it is coming back towards that position, means that is nothing but because of this elastic force only. So once if you displace the particle from its mean position, some elastic force which we call restoring force will develops, and because of the restoring force only the particle again comes towards this mean position there, if you are displacing the particle away from the mean position. So that is that importance of that elasticity for this propagation of this wave. And similarly it should also possess some inertia, like inertia means like mass, so that also plays some important role here. So the particle will possess, we need to write some force equations for that, even later we will derive that expressions for this velocity of this wave. So later we will derive the expression for this velocity of the wave, means based on that also now we can in that wave equation also, that means in the velocity of the wave equation also we will get the expression like in terms of mass or mass per unit length or mass per unit volume will define that. So that means that is nothing but inertia. So inertia also plays some important role there, right? So that is the properties of the medium that are required. And next here we define this, that means we can classify these waves into in different groups. We can classify the waves in different ways here. So let us see the classification of the waves. Just mention that classification of the waves. So the first thing what we can write here is classification of the waves based on requirement of medium or necessity of medium. So based on this we can classify the waves into two types here. So first one is like mechanical waves. Mechanical waves, and the second one is non-mechanical waves. So here itself mention about this mechanical waves. I will complete these definitions, basic definitions quickly, because I have already some idea about this. So just write here mechanical waves. The waves which requires a medium for their propagation. The waves which requires a medium for their propagation are called mechanical waves. The waves which requires a medium for their propagation are called mechanical waves. Can you say example for this mechanical waves? Sound waves. Sound waves, or we can say that the waves on the string. So just write that example. Examples are sound waves and waves on the string. Next, non-mechanical waves. The waves which does not require any medium for their propagation. The waves which does not require any medium for their propagation are called non-mechanical waves. Example, light waves, or you can say that light waves, X-rays, all electromagnetic waves. All electromagnetic waves are non-mechanical in nature. So sometimes these non-mechanical waves are also called just simply electromagnetic waves, because all electromagnetic waves are non-mechanical only. So these are based on the requirement or necessity of the medium. We can classify them into two types here, mechanical and non-mechanical waves. And actually like matter waves are there. Like matter waves means those are waves associated with another, in some books that will be given as a third group there, another type of this. And mechanical matter waves are completely different, and we will discuss about the matter waves in that modern physics. Those are nothing but simply the waves associated with the moving particles. The waves associated with the moving particles are called matter waves. And then this is based on this requirement of this medium here. And next, based on the vibration of the particle. So that means classification of the waves based on vibration. Based on vibration of the particle, right? And so based on this, again there are two types of waves here. One, transverse waves. Transverse waves. So in transverse waves, the vibration of the particle is perpendicular to the direction of propagation here. If the wave is propagating along this direction, then the particles of this medium will vibrate along this direction here. So the particles of the medium will vibrate like this. So these double arrows will indicate the direction of vibration here. So this is the direction of vibration. This is the vibration of the particle, and this is the propagation of the wave. So just to mention the definition. If direction of vibration of particles of the medium is perpendicular to the direction of propagation, if direction of vibration of particles of the medium is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave, then such waves are called transverse waves. Then such waves are called transverse waves. And transverse wave travels in the form of crest and trough. Transverse wave travels in the form of crest and trough. That means then that peak is nothing but we call crest, and this deepest point is nothing but we call trough. So it means it will travel in the form of this crest and trough here. And then next. So based on this, the vibration, the other classification is there like longitudinal waves. So longitudinal waves. So in case of longitudinal waves, the vibration of the particles of the medium is parallel to the direction of propagation here. So all the particles will vibrate in the direction only. Just mention the definition here. If direction of vibration of particles of the medium if direction of vibration of particles of the medium is parallel to the direction of propagation of the waves, then such waves are called longitudinal waves. Then such waves are called longitudinal waves. Example, what are the example for these longitudinal waves? Sound waves. And here also write the example for the transverse waves. I think I didn't mention that example, right? Just mention that examples as light waves, or for this transverse waves. For transverse wave, examples as light waves or waves on the string. And here sound waves. So now you know the sound waves travels in the form of, that means longitudinal waves travels in the form of compressions and rarefactions. So this is a rarefaction, this is a compression where particles of the medium or comes closer to each other. So this is a compression, and this is a rarefaction, compression and rarefaction like this. So rarefaction means then from each other, and compression means the particles of the medium or comes closer to each other. So then that is compression and rarefaction there. Just if you want clarity, you may mention about that. Compression means the region where the particles of the medium comes closer to each other. The region where the particles of the medium comes closer to each other is called compression. The region where the particles of the medium are move apart from each other is called rarefaction. And so automatically when the particles are coming closer to each other, then in this region density and pressure will be increasing, that will be more than the normal, and in this rarefaction region that will be less than the normal values. When we will discuss it later, you may mention that point also. In compression region, density and pressure will be more, and in rarefaction region, density of medium and pressure of the medium will be less, right? And based on this, you can write one note here based on this transverse wave on longitudinal waves. So just to mention that note now. So note. First point in that, longitude transverse waves, for the propagation of the transverse wave, medium should possess shearing stress. Medium should possess shearing stress. That is, in elasticity we discussed already, like shearing stress, which is also called tangential stress, and bulk stress, and then longitudinal stress. Different types of stress will be there. So for this especially, the medium should have this shearing stress here. And so, but in case of liquids and gases, this shearing stress or tangential stress is not there. Just for the liquid, if you shearing stress is nothing but tangential stress. For the liquids, if you apply the force tangential to the surface, then liquid will flow from one place to another place there. So that means they can't withstand that shearing stress. And so this because of that reason we say that transverse waves are not possible. That means they cannot propagate through that of liquid or gases. They are possible only in case of solids here. Mention that point here. Therefore, transverse waves can propagate only through solids. And in brackets you may mention that and on the surface of liquids. That means just in case of liquids, on the surface it is possible there, on the surface of liquids. But they cannot propagate in liquids and in gases. So that is our shearing stress here. That means transverse waves. Next, write this longitudinal waves. So now longitudinal waves can propagate through all media here. Simply you can consider the sound waves. Can sound waves propagate through gases? Yes, that because of that reason only we are able to hear all these sounds, right? So that means sound is traveling to the air medium. So they can travel to the gas medium, and they can travel to the solids, and they can travel through the liquids also, right? So that means sound waves are possible in all three media here. They can propagate in all media. Just mention that sound longitudinal waves can propagate through all solid, liquid and gas medium. And next point. So here you may get the doubt, like when their transverse waves, for the transverse waves I said like transverse waves are cannot propagate in liquids and gases I mentioned. But immediately you may get a doubt like what about the light waves? Light waves are traveling through the gases and light waves are traveling through the liquids, right? Did you got that doubt? Now actually that light itself is a non-mechanical waves. For that medium is not required here. So here we are saying that about the transverse waves which requires a medium. That means about mechanical transverse waves we are saying here, right? If it is a mechanical transverse waves, then definitely it cannot travel through this solids and liquids. Liquids and gases we can say here, right? Only solids, through solids it can propagate. So next mention that. Next point. Transverse waves can be mechanical or can be non-mechanical. Transverse waves can be mechanical or can be non-mechanical. But all non-mechanical waves are transverse in nature. All non-mechanical waves are transverse in nature. Is it clear? If it is a transverse wave, transverse mechanical waves are there and transverse non-mechanical waves are there. So if it is a transverse wave, then from that you can't decide whether it is a mechanical or non-mechanical if just a wave is mentioned as a transverse wave. But if a wave is mentioned as a non-mechanical wave, then definitely you can say that it is a transverse in nature. All non-mechanical waves are transverse in nature only, right? And similarly the next point. So if I say a mechanical wave, it can be a longitudinal wave or it can be a transverse waves. But if I say it is a longitudinal wave, all longitudinal waves are mechanical in nature only. Next point, write about that. A mechanical wave can be a transverse wave or longitudinal wave, can be a transverse wave or a longitudinal wave, but all longitudinal waves are mechanical. All longitudinal waves are mechanical. Is it clear? Now all non-mechanical waves are transverse in nature. All longitudinal waves are mechanical in nature. So if I say a mechanical wave, it can be a transverse mechanical waves are there, transverse longitudinal mechanical waves are there. So don't confuse with that. So understand that points clearly there, right? So that is about this some important points regarding the transverse and longitudinal waves. And next let us see the another type of classification. Now until now we discussed the two types of classifications there. One is based on the requirement of the medium or necessity of the medium, and the second one is vibration, and the third one is based on the propagation of this energy. So next classification is based on propagation of energy. Propagation of energy, right? So based on propagation of energy, actually there are two types of again classification will be there. One is said to be progressive waves. So one is progressive waves and other one is stationary waves. Other classification. Stationary, or these are also said to be standing. Now let us write this progressive waves here. So simply the basic difference between them is progressive wave means the energy, the wave will start from one point or from the source and continuously it will travel in forward direction there. And so continuously transports the energy or momentum from one place to another place, right? But whereas the stationary wave means it will be the energy will be confined between 2 points only. That means the 2 fixed points only. It cannot cross those 2 fixed points here. Whatever the total energy will be there, the total energy will be confined in between 2 points only. So such a waves are nothing but stationary waves or the standing waves. Just mention that progressive waves. And more about this we will discuss later. So lot of theory is there related to this and we will discuss it later. Progressive waves, the waves which start from the source, and always travels in forward direction are called progressive waves. These waves always transports energy. From one place to another place. Next, stationary waves. Stationary waves are confined between two fixed points, and so the energy in stationary waves is also confined between two fixed points. The energy in stationary wave is also confined between two fixed points. Like here, if a string is stretched between two fixed points here, and if you plug the string, that means if you make some disturbance in the string, then you will get such a pattern here. So that means then that is nothing but stationary loops. The energy now will be confined in between that. Actually between these two fixed points here. This is say we fixed points here which we call node here. Later we will define that. This is what we call node and this is another called node. So whatever the energy is there between those 2 points, that will remain constant only. Similarly between these 2 points or between these 2 points, whatever the fixed points are there, fixed points means here these points. So that means the energy in between those points will remain constant there. Or thereby you can say the total energy between these 2 points also will remain constant there. Energy cannot cross that points there. And so that is in case of stationary waves or standing waves. That is the classification of these waves here, right? And so next, some basic definitions are there related to this, the characteristics of a wave. So let us write those characteristics of the wave. So just keep subheading characteristics of the wave. You know, if you want to describe an object here, then generally if you are describing a solid, then we mention about its size and shape and density and mass of this object, right? So those are the characteristic properties of that object. If you want to describe about a liquid, then we can mention about the density or volume and like viscosity, whatever the related parameters are there, then we can describe that. Similarly, if you want to describe about a wave, how to describe that? We need to describe by mentioning its amplitude, wavelength and the speed of the wave. So like this, or wavelength, so frequency of the wave. So these are the characteristic properties of this wave here, right? So then first characteristic I am writing here. So some of these definitions you know already. So amplitude. So just write this amplitude. Amplitude means it's actually a general definition here. In case of displacement, I am defining here. The maximum displacement of a particle from the main position. The maximum displacement of a particle from the main position is called amplitude. Particle from the main position is called amplitude. And the next one, let us write frequency. The number of oscillations or vibrations made by a particle per second per unit time. The number of oscillations or vibrations made by a particle per unit time is called frequency. If t is the time period means all of you know that it is nothing but time taken for one oscillation. If t is the time period, then frequency can be expressed as 1 by t. So you can write this as Hz or second inverse you can express here. So that's the unit of this frequency. And then here itself you can mention about this angular frequency here. Angular frequency. So angular frequency omega is nothing but you can express this as 2 pi f, or which is nothing but 2 pi by t now you can write, right? So this is the angular frequency or frequency of the particle. And then next here, and so now the unit of this will be like radian per second you can write. And the next definition is, suppose I am writing this wavelength. So this is important here, wavelength, which is generally represented with this lambda. So now this wavelength is actually the distance traveled by the wave in one time period. So in one time period, how much the distance traveled by the wave is there, then that is nothing but we called wavelength here. So then you can also define this in different ways here. Just mention the definition. The distance traveled by a wave in one time period. The distance traveled by a wave in one time period is called wavelength. The distance traveled by a wave in one time period is called wavelength. It can also be defined as distance between two successive points. Distance between two successive points which are vibrating in same phase. which are vibrating in same phase. So phase means we have already an idea in simple harmonic motion, and recently in alternating currents also we discussed about this phase. And so now this also the similar meaning here. So the phase of the particle at any instant will represent like the position of the particle and direction of motion of the particle. So it describes a very important information in this vibratory motion actually there. And so now two particles which are in same phase means simply what I can say here is they are at the same distance from this mean position and their velocity direction is in the same direction. Then you can say that both are in same phase. So same phase in the sense actually the phase difference between those two particles is, later we will discuss about this phase difference here. So 2 pi n we need to write here, the phase difference between those two particles. N may be integer 1, 2, 3 or 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, right? And so that only generally we define this as the distance between two successive crust is called wavelength. So this definition is actually comes from the previous definition what I mentioned. Distance between two successive points which are vibrating in same phase is called wavelength. So now these two particles will be in same phase here, so that you can write that as lambda. And similarly you can consider the distance between two successive trough here, so that is also lambda. Like that any 2 points I can consider here. So this point and this point also you can consider here. So this also lambda. The phase of this particle and phase of this particle will be same. They are at the same distance from this mean position here. This distance will be same, and their direction of velocities will also be same. How to find the direction of velocities, we will discuss it later. So that means any two such a points you can consider there. That is lambda 1. So just mention that, write that another definition. Or in case of longitudinal waves, transverse waves, in case of transverse waves, it can be defined as the distance between two successive crest, the distance between two successive crest or two successive trough is called wavelength. Next, in case of longitudinal waves, the distance between two successive compressions, or between two successive rarefactions is called wavelength. So it is a definition of this wavelength here, right? And so now similar to this angular frequency, next year we will define like angular wave number or propagation constant. Or this is also called angular wave number. Which is represented with this k here. So this is very important parameter in this wave motion. So then simply this k value is defined as 2 pi by lambda here. Just similar to that of our angular frequency. Angular frequency we are writing it as like 2 pi f. So now this angular wave number is defined as propagation constant or angular wave number. It is given by 2 pi by lambda, meter inverse. You know all of you wave number is nothing but number of waves present in unit distance. So the number of waves present per unit distance is nothing but we call wave number. So that we express this as 1 by lambda. So now this angular wave number means number of wavelengths present in a distance of 2 pi. So then 2 pi by lambda we need to write here. The definition is not required for us, just that is a simple definition here. So the number of waves present in a distance of 2 pi. So then you can write that as 2 pi by lambda you can write here. So that we call propagation constant, and then angular wave number you can call. And next let us write this wave speed. So that means this is the speed of this wave here. So in wave motion we will define the two types of speeds here. One is wave speed and other one is particle speed. Both are different. So now particle speed we will define it later after completing that wave equation. Now this is a wave speed here. So just to mention that Distance traveled by a wave in unit time is called wave speed. Distance traveled by a wave in unit time is called wave speed. It is constant for a given medium. It is constant for a given medium. So remember this point here. Wave speed will be a constant in a given medium. If wave is propagating through the suppose say given water, if sound is propagating through the water, so throughout this water, then this value will remain constant. If it is traveling through a string, and so then throughout this string, that speed will remain constant. So that means now it will be a constant in a given medium here. So then in a time of t, then it travels a distance of lambda. So we can define this as v is equal to lambda by t, we can write. And that can also be written in terms of this omega and k. Omega and this t. So this value I can write this as omega by k also we can write here. Just substitute that. So that means lambda is equal to, you can write, or you can simplify directly by substituting these values here. Omega is nothing but you can write this as 2 pi by t, and then k is nothing but 2 pi by lambda. If you substitute those values here, then lambda by t you will get. So this is nothing but distance travel, and this is the time, right? In one time period t, the wave travels the distance lambda, and so that then lambda by t is nothing but our speed, so that we can express like this. So this is an important relation in this wave motion topic here. So frequently we use that relation, v is equal to omega by k, or you can write this omega is equal to kv into v, you can write. So it is another wave speed here. And next, phase of the particle is also there. About the phase of the particle we will discuss it later, or just to mention the definition. The phase difference we can discuss it later. So phase. So phase of a particle at any instant, gives the information about position of the particle and the direction of motion of the particle. Position of the particle and direction of motion of the particle. And about this phase, we discussed again in the SHM topic in detail. So now here, if and in recently in AC also we calculated all the problems in terms of this phase of this particle only, phase of this current only, phase difference only. So now if the wave equation, suppose it is represented like this, about this wave equation we will discuss it later. So now if the wave is of this form, so now this term is nothing but we call phase of this particle, that we know already. So that means now phase at any instant we can write that as phase. So at any instant we can write that as phi is equal to omega t plus or minus kx plus or minus phi naught. Now we need to write. So this will be the phase of the particle at any instant. Now whereas if you want to write this initial phase, that means that is nothing but phase at t is equal to 0. So that means that we call the initial phase or phase constant here. So at t is equal to 0, that means just mention that one more sentence there. The phase of the particle at t is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0 is called initial phase or phase constant. That means now here this phi naught is nothing but that value here. So I can write this as initial phase or phase constant or initial phase or phase constant. It is also called epoch. So those are the names for that phi naught there. So these are some basic definitions. More about this phase we will write after deriving the equations. And next, let us see the general form of this wave equation here. So, wave equation. So, let us consider a pulse is propagating along this x-axis here. A pulse is propagating along x-axis with a constant velocity v. So, at any instant, suppose say this peak of this pulse is here. So, at a distance x from this. So, at any instant of time t, it will be here, right? Velocity v. So, now I am asking a question like at what time this peak will be there at this on the y-axis. That means at this origin or on the y-axis. At what time? If at the time t, the peak is at a distance of x from this. The point P is at a distance of x from this. Now at what time this peak would be there at this on this y-axis or at origin? I am asking here. So it is not at t is equal to 0. That means we are not considering that it is starting at the origin at t is equal to 0. At any time it will be there. It is coming from some long distance. At any some instant it may be there. So at the known values at the instant of time t it is here. Now I am asking at what time it will be here. It would be here. So for that you may calculate how much time it is taking to travel this distance here. How much time it is taking? So that I can take it as suppose say delta t I am taking here. The delta t you can write that as x by v, right? So that means it is taking a time x by v to travel this distance. So now so that it will be the wave is at, that means this pulse is at this position in the time t. So now it's behind this point, this would be at this origin at a time of t minus of x by v. So that is the thing what we need to consider here. So that means now, so that we can write this as this time taken to travel this distance, the delta t is equal to what we calculated, it is delta x by v what we are considering. So for this, so this wave at this position we can consider it as, this would be in this position here at a time of t minus x by v. This point P will be there here. Right? So now it is traveling along this direction. So just mention that. Consider a pulse is traveling along x-axis with the constant velocity v. A pulse is traveling along the x-axis at the constant velocity v. At the given instant of time t, it is at a distance of x from the origin. It is at a distance of x from the origin. Therefore, it can be represented as, so just I am taking the general equation here. So y of x comma t. That means the position of any particle that we can represent here at any instant of time and at any distance x from this. So now it can be expressed as like f of x comma t. F means it is some function. It may be like sine function, cos function, or like trigonometric, any trigonometric or logarithmic or exponential or any algebraic function. Some function. F is some function of x and t I am taking there, right? So now this is at t is equal to t at any instant of time t and at any position p here. So now after this, that means just I am taking this, the position y is the position of this particle p at any instant of this time here. So that will be expressed as by using some function. That function, that means will depend on the shape here. If it, whether it is a square, triangle, or a sine wave or cosine wave, that depends on that shape of this pulse here, right? So next, so mention that this pulse would be on y-axis. This pulse would be on y-axis at a time of x minus t minus x by v, at a time of t minus x by v. Therefore, the same pulse when it is at origin, when it is on origin or y-axis, can be expressed as can be expressed as, so write this, y of x comma t, this is a general representation here. Now x is equal to 0 and the t values we need to write it as, if it is, this pulse is at this instant of time t here, then it would be in this position at a time of t minus x by v. And so generally we can write this as, so in general we can write this as so what we can write there is y is equal to f of t minus x by v, you can write. So now this is a general representation of our form function here. That means our wave function would be of this form here, like y is equal to, that means instead of this x comma t I am just taking it as y. So y is equal to f of t minus x by v. So that function must consist of t and x. If a given function is representing this wave, so then definitely that function should consist of the two variables. One is time and other is position. So x and t positions, x and t values must be there in that equation. Then only there is a possibility to say that there is a possibility that it may represent a wave. So that is the first condition it should be. So the wave function should be, it is a function of x and t. This form may be a different, so but totally it should be there, x and t values must be there in that. So just to mention that the given function will represents a wave. So first here just to mention that the above form will represent the general form of a wave equation. The above form for this, just after this, the above form will represent the general wave equation. And now write that the given function will represent a wave equation. The given function represents a wave equation if it satisfies the following conditions. So the first condition in that is it must be a function of t and x. So second condition, it must be finite for all values of x, and t. It must be finite. That means infinite values are not allowed here, right? So that means whenever you are getting that function is becoming infinite, then you can easily say that it doesn't represent a wave. So that means it will represent a wave only if it is a finite for all values of x and t. And so next one is so it should satisfy some differential equation here. If it satisfies the differential equation, dou square y by dou t square is equal to v square into dou square y by dou x square. Right? So that will be the conditions here. So it must be first of all, if there sometimes there will be questions like by giving some functions they will ask like whether it represents a wave or not. So that means it will represent a wave if it is a function of x and t. So first we need to verify this, and then next it should be finite for all values of x and t, right? And then next it should satisfy this equation here. So dou square y by dou t square is equal to v square into dou square y by dou x square, where v is nothing but that wave speed here. So that means where v is omega by k, wave speed. And actually this can also be expressed as like, this is also an important formula here. Write this, coefficient of t by coefficient of x. So that means this in some problems, especially in some pulse equations, we need to write like this. The wave speed can also be expressed as coefficient of t by coefficient of x. So without any signs, we need to write here. Like if it is here, suppose if you are taking in this example, the coefficient of t is 1 and their coefficient of x means there you will get minus 1 by b you will get, right? So but you should not consider that minus, or you may take like mod of coefficient of t by coefficient of x if you are getting such a confusion. So actually only magnitudes you need to write here. Is it clear? Mod of coefficient of t by mod of coefficient of x we need to write. So that ratio will represent the speed of this wave here. It's a general formula and it is important. There will be problems based on this here, coefficient of t by coefficient of x, right? So then these are the conditions to say, that means this is the form of the general wave equation here, and so that then it should satisfy these conditions to say a wave represents a traveling, and that means the given function represents a wave, right? So that general forms of these equations are like we can say, like the general form is like y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx or plus or minus kx, or like y is equal to some a into e power minus b into, you can take like some constants like at minus bx whole square, right? Or just that form, that expression, or you can write this a by b plus at minus bx whole square. So these forms will represent that wave equations there. You may verify that. You may verify whether those forms are representing this equation or not. Just mention that the following equations, write all these three equations, will represent a wave, that means automatically they will satisfy. If you are verifying these equations, those will satisfy these equations. If you want, you can verify that. And next, suppose if the wave equation is like a sine omega t square plus or minus kx square, or if it is like y is equal to a sine at into cos bx, or y is equal to a tan at plus or minus bx, right? Suppose if you are taking these forms here, like y is equal to a into e power plus b into at plus bx, if you are taking this form here, then these doesn't represent wave equations here. Any of these forms doesn't represent any wave equations here, because these are not finite and these are not finite functions, and these are they doesn't satisfy any one of, some of those may represent may doesn't satisfy any of these, or some of those forms may satisfy any one of these conditions. Wave means it should satisfy all these three conditions there. So that, right? So that means now actually this form you will get like a standing wave, which we mentioned here, progressive and standing waves, that we will discuss it later. And so these two are not finite functions. The trigonometric function and e power plus is there here. So if it is plus is there, then you can say that it doesn't represent say finite values. That means finite value for all values of x and t, where a and b are positive constants. So in all these forms, a and b are positive constants there. So that means you may mention that the following the following equations does not represent a wave. The following equations does not represent those examples here, all these examples. And next write the equation of a traveling wave. Traveling wave equation, or we can write it as plane harmonic wave equation. That means the sinusoidal wave equations are nothing but those we call harmonic wave equations there. Plane progress wave equation also sometimes we call that. Like a harmonic wave equation is nothing but when the wave is propagating through the medium, the particles of the medium will execute that simple harmonic motion there, right? So just mention it, that sentence there. When a wave is propagating through a medium, when a wave is propagating through a medium, the particles of the medium will execute, the particles of the medium will execute simple harmonic motion, simple harmonic motion. The displacement of a particle, the displacement of a particle can be expressed as, that means this is in SHM. In SHM, the displacement of the particle we can express this as y is equal to a sine omega t. Now we can write, right? Where a is amplitude and y is displacement of the particle and omega is angular frequency and t is the instant of time. Now suppose if you are taking this is at a distance of say that means if you want to get it as a function of x and t, now we need to consider this position of this particle at the time of t minus of x by v. If this wave is traveling with the speed of v, then we need to write this as that means just we need to replace this t value with the help of this y is equal to a sine of t minus x by v. So that is nothing but previously what we did for this equation there. If it is x comma t values are known to us, then if you want to get an equation here at a time of t minus x by v, then you need to replace this t value as t minus x by v. Then you will get this position of this, that means the displacement of this particle here. And so that then this equation you can write that as, so just mention that this is a displacement of a particle in SHM. The displacement of the same particle at a time of, now for this, just above this equation write that here, the displacement of the particle, the displacement of the same particle at a time of t minus x by v is, t minus x by v is given by, so just write this. Here instead of t, now we are writing that value. A sine omega of t minus x by v. So this equation now we can write this as a sine of omega t minus omega by v into x, right? And so that then here this equation I can write this as a sine of omega t minus kx you can write. So because we know already omega by k is nothing but k here, omega by k is nothing but v. So therefore since that v is equal to omega by k, and so that then this value we can write that as k is equal to omega by v you can write. So this is a general progressive wave or plane harmonic wave formed here. So remember this, in this whenever you are getting this plus sign here, that indicates the wave is traveling along this positive x direction. In this previously we derived that while expressing that condition, that only we used there, right? So whenever there is negative sign here, then that indicates that the wave is propagating along this positive x direction. When the plus sign is there, then that indicates it is propagating along this negative x direction there. So just mention that the direction is important here. This above equation represents a wave. Above equation represents a wave traveling along positive x direction. Positive x direction. If the wave is traveling along negative x direction, then it is of the form a sine omega t plus kx. So plus means it is negative x direction and minus means positive x direction. You should be remember this point here clearly. Plus means negative x direction, the wave is traveling along negative x direction. Minus means it is traveling along positive x direction. So previously, like we got this, we are replacing the t minus x by t with the t minus x by b because of this In that case only, when the wave is propagating along this x direction only, positive x direction only. So if it is traveling along negative x direction, then we need to replace this value by t plus x by v, we need to replace there. Then automatically plus sign you will get here. Here I am writing just a sine function here, not only sine, it may be a cosine function also you may get here. Or it will be common for this plus and minus sign is common for any function here, either in case of exponential function or in case of an algebraic function like this. If this negative sign is there, then that indicates that it is moving along negative positive x direction. If positive sign is there here, then it indicates the wave is propagating along this negative x direction. So it is common for every form here, not only sine or sine functions. It may be for exponential or algebraic, any function you may consider. If negative sign is there, it is along positive x direction. Positive sign is there, then it is along negative x direction. Is it clear? So now we can express this wave in different forms here. Here also again I am saying, even if you are writing for the sine, the same representation will be there for this cosine also. Just that function will be different there. Depending on the given wave, we need to write that. So you can write this as in trigonometry like cosine form also you can use there, sine or cosine, which we call sinusoidal wave. So sinusoidal wave means sine or cosine waves. Only those functions will represent a wave, remaining like trigonometry, that tan functions or cosecant functions or secant functions, that doesn't represent a wave because those are not finite values, right? And so now let us see the different forms of this wave here. So just mention that different forms of this wave equation. So like y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx. This represents a wave traveling along positive x direction. Negative sign is there means it is traveling along positive x direction. Now I am writing this in different forms here. A sine like 2 pi by t minus this is 2 pi by lambda into x. So that now this is maybe of the form like sine 2 pi into 2 pi I am taking common here. So t by t into x by lambda you will get here. So this is one of the form. This is a basic form here. This is a basic form, and this now you can also express like this. T by t minus x by lambda you can write there. Or instead of this, now we can also express this as y is equal to a sine of, just I am taking that omega common here. So if you are taking this omega common, then you can express this as t minus k by omega into x. So this is nothing but previously what we mentioned while deriving this equation here. So this is of x by v you will get, because omega by k is nothing but our 1 by v you will get. Sorry, omega by k is v. So these are another form here. This is another form of that. Or sometimes you may take like k term common here. So y is equal to a sine k of, I am taking common here. Then this form you can write this as omega t, omega by k into t minus x, right? And so then this equation will be of the form like y is equal to a sine of k into this value. Now we can write this as vt minus x. So this is of this form here. So like that they may express these values in different forms here. So then sometimes they will ask by giving the wave equation in different forms. By different forms in the sense this is a basic form. From that they will take any one of the term common here, and they will ask the different parameters related to these wave equations. So in that case, simply instead of remembering all these forms, simply what you should do here is just multiply whatever the common term they are taking here, multiply the term here. Once if you multiply the term, then you will get this form, right? So the coefficient of t is nothing but our omega, and a coefficient of x is nothing but our k. If any initial phase is there, then that will be fine out. Initial phase term will be there. So the coefficient of t is nothing but our omega, and a coefficient of x is nothing but our k. You can consider like that. So whatever the term common is given, just multiply the term here, then you will get that equations there, right? So those just we consider it as a different forms of that wave equation here. And here in this, another important point you should note here is, Sometimes they will give the wave equations like at x is equal to 0 or at t is equal to 0, sometimes they will give. If x is equal to 0, if they mention, then the wave will consist of only that t terms there, like previously what we discussed there. So like while deriving this y is equal to a sin omega t plus or minus kx, so we got this equation like y is equal to a sin omega t. So if this equation is given, and if the wave is traveling along positive x direction, to get our original wave function, if wave propagates along positive x axis, then we need to replace this t value with t minus x by v to get the wave equation. So in general, not only the sine function or cosine function, it may be like exponential function or algebraic functions. If it is a function of this omega is given, like only t is given, that automatically indicates that it is given at x is equal to 0. Then its value can be obtained in terms of x, or you can obtain the general wave equation as by replacing the t value with x minus t minus x by v. So then this is y of a omega into sine of omega into this value now we need to write here. So then you will get our original wave equation. And whereas if it is traveling along negative x direction, so then for this you need to write this as t value is to be replaced with t plus x by v. T plus x by v now we need to write. So then a sin omega of, so here t value is to be replaced with t plus x by v, now we need to replace here. Then you will get the corresponding equations. And instead of this, like suppose this is one case here, when this is when wave equation as a function of only t is given. Now sometimes you will get the case like these wave equations will be given only as a function of x. That means that t is equal to 0 they are giving here. Then we need to replace those values with this, that means we need to get this original function as a function of t and x is required here. If the wave equation is given at t is equal to 0 as, just mention that if wave equation is given at t is equal to 0 as y is equal to a sin omega t, then original wave equation can be obtained as, so that means if travels along positive x axis, it is along positive x axis, so then you need to write this as x value is to be replaced with vt minus x. Is it clear? X value we need to replace with vt minus x. Remember this. When t is given, that means when x is not there, and if you want to write the equation, then t is to be replaced with t minus x by v. And if the wave is traveling in opposite direction, that means negative x direction, then it is to be replaced with t plus x by v. And if x is given and if you want to get the t value, then we need to replace this x value as vt minus x. And therefore let us substitute in this equation here a sin k of vt minus x you will get. And therefore you can write this equation as a sin of k into v into t minus kx you will get. Now k into v is nothing but you can write that as omega. So therefore I can write this equation as y is equal to a sin of omega t minus kx you will get, which is our general form here. So like that you can obtain this general form. And now similarly if it is traveling along negative x direction, if the wave is traveling along this negative x direction, then x is to be replaced with vt plus x. So therefore this y is equal to a sin. So just here instead of this x we need to substitute that value here. A sin of k into vt plus x we need to write. So then just multiply that so that you can express this as y is equal to omega t plus kx. Now we can write here. Right. So like that we can obtain this original function. If at t as a function of only t and as a function of only x is given, then we can convert that equation. There will be problems based on this here. It may be not in terms of sine or cosine functions, like sometimes they will give like exponential or the algebraic functions. In that form they will give these problems here based on this. And so next here I said that we need to define this another velocity. In waves I said there are two types of velocities over there. One is wave velocity and other is particle velocity. Now as a wave equation is completed for us, the general form of this wave equation is completed for us. Now let us see this particle velocity definition here and corresponding relations here. So particle velocity and relation between particle velocity and wave velocity. And so here we know this wave equation. Suppose if I consider y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx I am taking here. Let us consider this wave equation is given by this. Now this particle speed we can write that as, so particle speed y is equal to, particle speed means dy by dt. Y is the displacement of the particle here. So particle speed Vp is equal to, then we write this as dou y by dou t. Because it is a function of t and x is given, then we need to use a partial differentiation here. And therefore this particle speed will be equal to a omega into cos of omega t minus kx. So now this is a particle velocity, a general form here. So as I said already, these particles, when the wave is propagating through the medium, the particles will execute the simple harmonic motion. So this is nothing but our velocity in simple harmonic motion here. Velocity of a particle in simple harmonic motion you will get. And so now this can also be converted as a omega into 1 minus sine square omega. That sine omega I can write this as y by a. This cos omega t minus kx we can write as 1 minus sine square theta. That sine square theta means we can write by using this equation here. So that I am substituting directly there. Therefore Vp is equal to, what we can write here is omega into under root of a square minus y square you can write. If we take LCM, then this a will be cancelled. This we know already. In SHM we got the same expression there only. So that means Vp is equal to omega into under root of a square minus y square you will get in simple harmonic motion. So that is velocity of the particle. And from this we also mentioned that velocity, when the velocity will be maximum at y is equal to 0, that means at mean position, then velocity of the particle will be maximum, and that maximum value is nothing but a omega you can write. And at y is equal to a, that means at extreme position, then this velocity of the particle will be minimum. So that is nothing but 0. So this y is nothing but here. If you are taking a wave equation like this, you may consider any particle here. This is nothing but our y, this is our x here in that wave equation at any instant of time. So this is a particle here. So for this particle now we are defining there. So y means it is the distance of the particle from mean point. So this, all the points on this x-axis will represent the mean positions of the respective particles there, right? As the transverse wave is propagating along this direction, the particles of the wave will execute this simple harmonic motion there perpendicular to the direction of propagation, that we know already. So y means this value here. So when y is maximum, when the particle is here, then its velocity will be 0, and when the particle is here at the mean position, then you will get this maximum velocity there. And now see this relation between particle velocity and wave velocity, right? And so now this particle velocity, now I am writing this as a omega into cos of omega t minus kx. Let's suppose this is equation 1, this equation. Now here I am going to define this another term here. Now let us define this dou y by dou x. Dou y by dou x is nothing but slope of this equation here. So let us find that value now. Dou y by dou x means that we need to differentiate this equation with respect to x. When you are differentiating with respect to x, then minus k you will get. So then it is minus a into k into cos of omega t minus kx you will get. So let us take this as equation 2, and now let us find the just ratio of those two equations. so that I can write this as velocity of particle by this is dou y by dou x is equal to minus of omega by k you will get. So the remaining terms cos and a terms will be cancelled, right? And therefore we can write this as velocity of particle is equal to minus, this is nothing but our v, wave speed. So v into dou y by dou x you can write. So this is our relation here. This is a relation between particle velocity and wave velocity. And dou y by dou x is nothing but you can write this as dou y by dou x as slope. And so therefore you can write this as velocity of particle is equal to minus wave speed into that slope you can write here. So slope of that tangent drawn to that particle at that point. So for that particular position you can draw a tangent here, then there you will get that slope. And based on this actually you can there will be some questions based on this here. So let us say this application of that. So it's an important relation here. Velocity Vp is equal to minus V into slope. So in wave motion there will be some lot of formulas or relations will be there. You need to remember all those relations, and most of the questions even based on the previous questions also, advanced questions also, direct formula based questions are there particularly from this topic. So wave motion you need to remember all these relations here, right? So even it may be a simple relation but it plays a very important role in solving that problem. So just I am taking some wave here. Let us take that wave I am representing and let us see how to identify that positions there. If suppose say this is the wave, it is traveling along this positive x direction here. This is y axis and x axis. Now I am representing some points here. So let us take this point here. Let it be point A, and suppose this is B and this is the point C, and let us take this is the point D and this is point E, and let us take this as point F here, right? So let us take some points. We may consider the different points there. Now we need to identify that how those points are moving. That means what is the direction of velocity of those points. So for that we need to use our relation here. So velocity of this particle is equal to minus of V into that slope we need to write. Is it clear? Previously what we derived now. And so now here first you need to decide the sign of this V here. So V is traveling, wave is traveling along positive x direction, and so now we can say that it is a positive value, right? So that here V is positive. Here V is positive, right? And then now we need to decide now the sign of this particle velocity will depend on the sign of the slope here. So based on that then you will get this slope here, that means the direction of this velocity here. Now for point A, if I write here, for point A, what is the slope at the point A? If you are drawing this tangent here, then for point A slope is positive. So slope is positive means that implies Vp value is negative. Is it clear? This is already a positive value. Slope is positive here. So slope is this product is a positive value. Already negative sign is there in the formula. Then you will get that it is a negative value here. And so that then this particle will be there like this. That means its velocity of the particle will be there like this. So is it clear? So velocity of this particle A will be there along this direction, in downward direction. Next for point B. For point B. So for point B also here you will get slope as positive only. So right. So then it is velocity is negative only. Velocity is negative means again you will get this velocity will be there in downward direction. Next for point C. For point C slope is 0. Right. There it is the highest point. So tangent you will get like this for point C. And so slope is 0. That implies this velocity of this point C will be 0. It is at rest, it is at extreme position that we mentioned already. When y is equal to a, velocity will be 0. So at point C it will be velocity will be 0. And next for point D I am writing here. For point D. Now for point D the slope is, so slope is negative, right? So here if you are taking a tangent here, then the tangent will be there like this. So the tangent is having that negative slope. So now slope is negative means that implies that this VP value is positive. So that means now this from this equation, this value is already a positive value. Now this is negative. So minus of minus, you will get this velocity of particle as positive. Velocity of particle is positive means then its velocity will be directed in upward direction here. So like that you may consider any other point here. Suppose if another point if I consider here, so for this also you will get the same. Tangent will be having negative slope, so you will get this velocity will be in upward direction there, right? Next, similarly for this point E, you may write here. For point E, slope is 0 again. Slope is 0, that is velocity of this point E will be 0. So that means this point is again velocity extreme position here, so that its velocity will be 0. And next for point F. For point F, again here the slope is, now the tangent we need to draw like this, right? So the tangent is having that positive slope. So slope is positive. So that implies that velocity of particle is negative means it is having this velocity in downward direction here. So like that every point on this will have the velocity in downward direction. So like that we can identify this direction of velocities like this. Velocities of different points you can calculate like this. Actually another method is also there. Based on this another method also you can identify this direction of these velocities. But this will be the simplest way. The another method is nothing but just by drawing the wave after a small time interval here. So just if the wave is represented like this, then you need to draw the wave after a certain time here. So after a small time interval. After a small time interval if I consider, then you can draw this wave diagram like this. After a small time interval if I consider, then you can draw this wave diagram like this. So for example, A is initially here, now it reaches to this position. So velocity of A will be there in downward direction. And B is here, if I consider here, then initially now it reaches to this position here. And so that its velocity is moving in downward direction here. And for example, D if you are taking here, then D is now it will reaches to this position here. So then this will be rising in upward direction here. So like that. So you can draw the velocity wave after a small time interval you can write, and you may identify where that position will displaces. Suppose if F is here, then that F will reach us to this position here. So this is F location. So then this velocity will be there in downward direction. So like that you can identify that velocities, but that will be a little bit confusion will be there for some points, and you can easily follow this relation here, right? So then if the wave is traveling along negative x direction, for example, then you need to consider this velocity of the wave as a negative. So here I will draw this one more graph here, then identify these points there. That means velocities, direction of velocities of the different points. So now let us consider this wave is traveling along this direction. So now let us take this as A, B, and this is C, and D, E, F. So identify the direction of motion of those points there, right? Now there the wave is traveling along negative x direction. That is the thing you need to note there. And next similarly here you can write the acceleration relations here. Acceleration of the particle you can write. So just if I write this acceleration of the particle. So acceleration of the particle. So acceleration of the particle here I can write this as A is equal to, so acceleration of the particle is nothing but dou by dou t of this velocity of the particle we can write. Rate of change of velocity is nothing but our acceleration. So this is acceleration of the particle is nothing but dou by dou t of our velocity. Previously what we mentioned is like cos omega t minus kx. And therefore this is AP is equal to, we can write this as minus a omega square into sin of omega t minus kx you can write. And this equation is nothing but AP is equal to minus omega square y you can write. So this is again our SHM case only, right? In SHM also we got like acceleration A is equal to minus omega square x or minus omega square y you can write. So that is that equation here, or from this you can write the maximum and the minimum possible values of this acceleration you can write. Therefore at y is equal to 0, the acceleration of the particle will be minimum. That means magnitude. I am talking about the magnitude, and so this magnitude is nothing but 0 we can write. And so at y is equal to a, then acceleration of the particle will be maximum, magnitude of acceleration of the particle, and it is omega square a we can write. So it is a maximum and minimum acceleration of the particles, and you can observe that the acceleration will be always directed towards the mean position. And like this they may ask like direction of acceleration also. Direction of acceleration you can answer either by using this equation, or in general also you can answer there. Like previously we discussed like direction of velocities, or now the same problem they may ask like for the same, by giving such a graphs they may ask the direction of acceleration. Like suppose this is a point A I am taking here, and this is a point B, and point C is here, and point D is here, and suppose say this one of the point you may consider this point D is here, and this is the point F I am taking E, and this is the point F I am taking here, right? So for those points now I need to represent the direction of acceleration. So now if you want to represent the direction of acceleration, simply what you need to remember a simple point is, here when the wave is propagating, the particles are executing simple harmonic motion, right? So when the particles are executing simple harmonic motion, in simple harmonic motion the acceleration is always directed towards the mean point. The acceleration is always directed towards the mean point means the mean points of these particles, all the points will be lying on x-axis only, and so that acceleration of all particles must be directed towards this x-axis only. Like suppose if I consider the point A towards x-axis means you can answer like this. So the acceleration will be directed like this, and acceleration will be directed like this, and acceleration will be directed like this. And for this point A the acceleration will be 0. For this it is lying on the mean point. When the point is lying on the mean point, the acceleration will be 0. And for this point now acceleration will be directed upwards here. So then for this also now the acceleration will be directed upwards. So simply what we can say is, for all the points which are above the x-axis, acceleration will be downwards. For all the points which are below the x-axis, the acceleration will be upwards. That we can conclude here. And which are lying on the x-axis, the acceleration will be 0 because they are lying on the mean positions. And by using this relation also you can say here. So now by using this relation means for all the points which are lying above this x-axis, like for A or for B, the y sign is, the sign of this y is nothing but distance of the particle from that position. So it is a positive value, right? So when y is positive, then acceleration of this particle will be negative you will get. So acceleration of the particle for all these points here, y is positive. Y is positive means acceleration is negative. So that acceleration will be directed in downward direction here. Is it clear? And for all these points here, for all these points y is negative. So minus of minus plus you will get. Acceleration will be positive, which indicates it is directed upwards there, right? So like that you can also identify this acceleration here. And next here let us write some relations here. The relations are nothing but like the ratio of maximum particle velocity to wave velocity. This ratio let us write here. Maximum velocity you can write it as a omega, and this is omega by k you can write. And therefore here we can write this Vp maximum by maximum ratio of maximum particle velocity to wave velocity is equal to ak we can write, or which is a into 2 pi by lambda you can write. So this is a relation, that ratio here, one of the important relation. This relation is also important. So ak or 2 pi by lambda times that of amplitude. And next if I write like the ratio of maximum acceleration to maximum velocity of the particle. So maximum acceleration is omega square a, maximum velocity is a omega. So this ratio now will get this as omega, right? So that is maximum velocity of the particle is a omega, acceleration is omega square a, so that you will get the ratio as omega. And another relation is the maximum acceleration to that of wave velocity. So maximum acceleration is omega square a, and wave velocity is omega by k you can write. Omega divided by this k. And so therefore this AB maximum by V value we need to write. And so then this can be expressed as like Ka into omega you can write. So then those are our ratios here, different ratios between velocities and accelerations we can write like that. So these are some few concepts related to this the interaction of this wave motion, and based on this wave function and wave equation some problems will be there. A few problems directly you can solve with the help of this. Most of the problems you can solve, and remaining problems I will discuss it later. So in this the remaining important concept will be like velocity of the wave we need to derive an expression for the V on the strings, and then next we need to discuss energy and power intensity relations there, that I will explain our next class. Right. Thank you.